So hi all, welcome to my CodeML channel, and today is the I will talk about exploratory data analysis for the Titanic Kaggle project, and this is lecture number 3 in the series. So if you have not watched the earlier two lectures, you can go ahead. I have already added in the paid playlist, and I will also add this lecture at the third place. Okay. So as you can see on my screen, I have shown you today. I'll be sharing the exploratory data analysis and what kind of plots we have taken and drawn, and with which we will take and we will gain a deeper insights that what the data looks like, and how we can get some useful insights from those data values. Okay, so let's proceed. So exploratory data analysis, like we will be visualizing, and we'll be gaining, and we'll be plotting some graphs based on like columns versus columns, and even we'll be doing like there is a in EDA, we have many types of analysis, like univariate analysis, then multivariate analysis, even bivariate analysis. So univariate analysis means like when we are analyzing a single column, how it is distributed, and if we are plotting a graph for that, so using different graphs, that is histograms or even bar charts, and when we are dealing with two columns, so we can even use the scatter plots or pair plots as well. Okay, so that I will make a separate video for EDA, but here I have just taken this Kaggle dataset, that is Titanic dataset, and I am visualizing. Okay, so the first plot what you are seeing over here is the count plot. So before that, I just want to even read this description for you, so that okay, it says that this EDA tasks are generally to visualize the data set, and looks for like it will help to decide that what features are really important in our prediction. If the columns which are really not useful, like earlier we predicted that okay, like name, ticket, and even the passenger ID, those columns are not much relevant to us, so that can be dropped off. So even we will see that okay, if some other columns are also there which are like present and they don't contribute much to our prediction, so that columns can also be dropped off, so that we can get overall good accuracy. Okay, so we'll start with the EDA, and the first plot which I have drawn is of we have drawn a count plot, where what we have done is we have count plot. What it will do is it will take all the counts of all the set of values, it will categorize, and it will visualize on the on the kind of a bar chart. Okay, so here we are like I have visualized this training data set, that is the train DF, that is the data frame, training data frame, and for what column we are doing, we are doing our first column, that is survived. For the, so this is our column name. Okay, that is the training data frame, and the column is survived column. Okay, so usually what values it has only 0 and 1. So almost you can see more than around like 500 550 values are there of zeros, and almost if you can see over here, like greater than 300 values are for ones, that means those who have survived. So we have already concluded and seen in our earlier video that 38% was the total survivors, and that's what it is shown over here, that almost out of almost this 550 is the count for, it's just an approximate what I'm able to see from this graph. Okay, so this is the count which it is showing. Okay, and survived is the column name. So same we will be doing for other columns as well. So this was just to see that okay, what is the ratio between the passengers, those who survived and those who not. Okay, so this is the first column which we visualized. Now we'll go on to the second graph. That is here what we are doing. Here we are taking uh, the second column, that is P class column. Okay, so we are doing, again we are drawing the count plot for it. So P class had like three classes, that is class 1, 2 and 3. So this is and this is the count. So you can see these are the P class values which were present in the P class column, and these are the counts for those individual classes. That is for class 1, the count was almost like 210 to 20, what you can see from here, almost like 210 to between 220. Okay, similarly for P class, that is equal to 2, the values count would be almost like 190 180 range. Okay, and the P class 3, that means the lowest category class, or you can say the highest category class, So that is not defined. So here if we see that okay, the P class equals to 3 where most passengers were traveling, so those were almost close to 480, 490. So this is the count. So these are the individual values, and this y-axis will show the count. So I hope you are clear with the count plot and how we are going to draw. So here, what is SNS? I will reiterate for you that what the code does means. SNS is the Seaborn library. Okay, so this is an alias name. We imported at the right at the start. We imported the library import Seaborn as SNS. SNS we used as the alias. Okay, so that's why we have used the name alias. SNS dot count plot. What type of plot we are drawing? We are drawing the count plot. Okay, and then inside this, in the parenthesis, we are writing the attribute name, and here attribute name is what? It is the data frame dot column name, or data frame, and then the square bracket the column name. Okay, so even like what even if you want to, this is the uh, best practice notation which we do. Even you can also write it as data frame dot column name as well. Okay, so we have also drawn the count plot for P class as well. Now what I have done is I have also drawn the bar plot also. So this is the second type of plot which I am showing you over here. Is what is the bar plot? Bar plot will use two variables. So here we are doing a bivariate analysis there, where there will be in x-axis there will be one column, and how it is like actually impacting with the another column that will be placed in the y-axis. Okay, and so here I will just show you the code that what does it means. SNS, again the Seaborn library, bar plot, the kind of plot, and then in x is equal to P class, that is on the x-axis P class column would be there, and for the y-axis survived column would be there. Okay, so basically what it will show us is for each class how many persons did survived. Okay, so and then data we are trying to see, and we are trying to do visualize the training data frame. Okay, so here you can see that okay, for P class equals to 1, how many survived. So it will show, it will show the counts where survived was equal to 1. Okay, so here as you can see, the most numbers of persons who did survive were from P class equals to 1. Okay, so P class equals to 1, almost the probability of the survival was more than like 0.6. Here also the P class equals to survived were nearly equal to point force nearly it will be equal to like point 485, 0.48, 0.49. That was the probability. That is the probability for P class equals to 2 survival, and it was the lowest for P class equals to 3 survival, where the passengers count were the most. There the survival rate was low. So this was the bar plot observation which we did from analyzing firstly the counts of the passengers, and then survival status versus the P class. So this was the bivariate analysis, and this graph shows us the univariate analysis example. Okay, so even like there are multiple different kind of plots by which we can do different types of data analysis. Okay, so this is the third count. Now what we are doing is this is we are doing, and we are checking the count plot for sex column, that is the gender column. And here what we are doing is we are drawing a count plot for males versus females, that okay, how many males were there and how many females were there. Okay, so this is first graph. Okay, with the help of count plot you can see that okay, obviously here from this graph we can see that more number of males were traveling, and male is greater than females count. So almost close to 580, 570, or yeah, nearing about like 570, 575 males were traveling, and close to 300 females were traveling. Okay, so this was one, we did a count plot analysis for sex column. Now what we'll do is again, now we will try to check that okay, based on the survival status, like what kind of genders survived the most, either the females or the males. So again, we have drawn a bar plot where we are analyzing two columns. At y-axis we will be putting on survived, and at x-axis we are putting the sex column. Okay, and then the data on training data frame we are trying to visualize. So that's why we have taken. See how you are able to know that okay, what kind of attributes you need to give is by using shift tab. So if you do a shift tab and you do a just a plus, so you can see that okay, at x-axis what you need to put, at y-axis what you need to put, and what is the data. Okay, and there are several other columns, so you can go ahead and you can just see the description for all the columns. Okay, and you can learn on your own how to visualize. Even I will cover these kind of plots, and I will do a full EDA analysis in my later videos. Okay, so here I am just concentrating on this exploratory data analysis related to Titanic project. Okay, so this is the second, this is the bar plot. So here you can see the probability of females surviving is very far better than the probabilities of male surviving. Here the probability of like male surviving is almost close to 0.2, that is you can say 0.185. Okay, but if you see the probability of getting survival of the females is close to, it's nearly close to far above than 0.75. Okay, so coming on to now age column. Okay, so till now we have done the analysis for P class column, then for survival status column, and yes, for the survived column, for P class column, and for sex column we have already done the EDA part. Now we are coming to our next column, that is our age column. Okay, so these are some columns which are which are in the numeral categories. That means they are in the numeric form. So here we'll try to see that okay, how does the age whether they are like how many persons are there and falling into each category. Okay, so that is shown with the help of histogram. Okay, so what does histogram shows? Histogram, here also we are doing a univariate analysis, and mostly for histograms like single column is being taken into account, and what number of times the values are present, that shows, that means it shows us the frequency count. Okay, so frequency count is usually shown with the help of with the help of histograms. Okay, so here histograms are like very similar to bar charts or and bar box plots, but here the main difference between this is, yes, if you see a bar plot, so the main difference between a histogram and bar plot is, in a bar plot you can like place one column at x-axis and and at y-axis the other column, and you can do a bivariate analysis. But with the histograms you will be just placing one column, that is you are doing a univariate analysis. But what does it will show? It will show the frequency counts for each of the values occurring. Okay, so that is being shown by histograms. So here what we're doing is we are checking the for the particular age what is the frequency counts. Okay, so here you can see at like for between 0 to 10 age you can see almost 50 is the count. For 10 to 20 almost like lesser than 50, almost 40 to 45 for passengers are traveling. Then almost like in the age group of 20 to 40, if you say, like most of the passengers are traveling. If you add up all these, so you will get a good number of total passengers, those who are traveling. So you can see that okay, most persons are falling in between the age of 20 to 30. Okay, you can see these two graphs. Okay, these two towers you can see over here. So these two towers like 20 to 30, if you see in this range, almost many of the like almost 40 to 45% of the total travelers are traveling. Okay, so this is a very useful data insight for this, that okay, what is the actual age range. Okay, now what we are doing is, now here we are doing is we are trying to do a bivariate analysis, and we'll be seeing that okay, like at what, like till what age the persons are able to survive. Okay, so I mean from my statement over here I'm trying to say is, like at x-axis what we have done, we have taken the survived column, and at y-axis we have taken the age column. And what we are trying to do over here is we are trying to see that okay, for what particular age the persons mostly survived. Okay, so here using this, these both are almost equal. Almost here also you can see, since the persons those who didn't survive, their count was actually high, only that means almost like 62% of the total passengers didn't survive, right? 38% was the survival rate. That's why this graph doesn't makes much account. Why? Because you can see from 0 to 30 years of age, the passengers didn't survive. But here, if you see here also, you can see that from 0 to almost like lesser than 30 years, passengers there also they survived. So here, not a much useful insight we can observe from this graph. So here what we'll be doing is, without this we'll be doing and we'll be creating a box plot. Okay, so box plot will actually show us that okay, what was the survival rate, okay, and in what age range the persons usually survived. Okay, so here you can see this, I have drawn a box plot. Sometimes it is also called as violin plots. And how to read is that if you can see this box plot, so here you'll be able to see that here what we've taken is at x, again we have taken the survived column. At y we have taken the age column, that is the y-axis, we've taken the age column, and training data frame. Okay, so this is the training data frame on which we have plotted the box plot. Okay, so here what we are trying to see is this is the minimum value. And yeah, yeah, so here what we are trying to see is like mostly if you see over here, the survived, uh, like the category that is the from 20 years to 40 years of age, the persons didn't survive. Okay, and the median value was in the age range of almost like 28 to 27 years, where like which are falling, and they which were not able to survive. But here if you see for the survival rate as well, here also the range from which the persons survived the most were from 20 to 40 years of age. Okay, and here you can see here, for here also there are some outliers. Outliers are the point which are actually like suppose if I talk about numbers from 1 to 10, okay, that we have a set, and then after 10 we have a number around like 1000, so that will be an outlier for that data. So here also, if it makes a huge difference, if a particular value, suppose I will give you another example also. If suppose the persons are normally in the weight range of like 45 to 75 kg range, and suppose and another person comes who has a weight of 185 kg, so that person will be considered as an outlier. Okay, why? Because then it can affect the total count, and also what it will affect, it will not affect the median, but it will surely affect the mean of that data set. Okay, so that's why that data value, that is 185 kg, if I say, that will be considered as an outlier. Okay, so here these points will show as outlier. So the purpose of this graph was to show that okay, the survival rate for the age columns is from like almost 20 to close to 35 years of age, the person survived the most. Okay, now we'll be coming on to another columns. So what is SIB SP? I have not described. So you can go ahead and you can see the columns description. Okay, so SIB SP means the number of siblings or the spouses. Okay, so number of siblings and spouse on the Titanic ship for that passenger. Okay, so that is shown by this column SIB SP. So here we are trying to count and we are trying to check that okay, for the particular passenger, how many number of siblings or spouse that person is traveling with. Okay, so we have taken the count plot and we can see that for almost 600 passengers, they were traveling alone and they were not traveling with any sibling and their spouse. Okay, so this was shown by this column and this train DF sibling SP. Okay, now we'll be coming on to another column. Here also what I have done is we have taken the bar plot and we are checking that okay, what is the probability of the survival rate if the persons are traveling with if they're traveling alone and if they're traveling with few of their siblings or spouse. So what is the survival rate? So the probability for a person who's traveling alone to survive is greater than zero point 0.3. And if you can see, the probability of surviving of those person, those are traveling with at least one sibling or their spouse, is the greatest over here. You can see in this bar plot, the greatest is for the person who's traveling with at least one sibling or a spouse. Okay, so this is being shown by this orange. tower. Okay. So this is another plot for a siblings column with this is a part of a bivariate analysis which we did. Now coming on to P arc. So P arc means the number of parents and children which are onboarded on the Titanic ship along with that passenger. Okay. So again, same, we are doing the count plot and we see that most of the passengers are not traveling with their parents and they are traveling alone. Here the count is almost 680, 675. Okay. And then it's getting decreased. But now we are also checking that, okay, who survived the most. So here you can see the persons, those who are traveling with like three of the count, that is either their parents or children survived the most. And at least, like, if you can see that, okay, the passengers, those who are traveling with at least one, two, or three of their like count of their relatives, that is either parent or their children, they were surviving close to their probability of survival is almost the uh, with lesser differences. Okay, rather than those who are traveling alone or those who are having greater than five of the count of their parents and with along with their children. Okay. Okay. So now I am coming on to another column analysis, that is fare column, just to check that, okay, whether the fare has some like contribution in our prediction or not. So here what I have done is we are just checking that, okay, what is actually the most common fare charged for the passengers. Okay. So zero to like between 0 to 50 if you say over here, and then 50 to 100, almost like $50 if you say. The count of passenger those who onboarded were close to 700, greater than 700, and then it gets decreased. Okay. So here like the fare charge for most of the passengers was around like from 0 to $50. Okay. The count is the greatest, that is around 700 to between 715 720 was the count. Okay. So this is the fare column, that is the univariate analysis we have done with the help of histogram. Okay. So here, if I try to show you an example and explanation of this, like plot.hist. So hist is the like hist will be using as a keyword for drawing the histogram, and then in the attribute, firstly we'll be defining the data, that okay, on what column we are going to distribute, and this edge color is just to show that, okay, this blue color, and if you want to separate it, so the edge color will be with the color of your choice. I have used over here black. You can choose any other color as well. Then the X label defines this X label over here, and Y label defines this frequency count. And plt.show method will actually plot the graph for you. Okay. Now again, we have drawn a box plot for the persons, those who have given like the fare will actually tell us that, okay, if the persons, those who have paid more fare actually survived, or the persons, those who have paid less actually survived. Okay. So here, as you can see with the help of box plots, so it is trying to give us the range that, okay, the persons, those who have given like those who survived have given close to like 10 to like $50, they have survived. So here also, like the persons, those survival rates for those persons are probably more, where they have been charged higher fares. Okay. So I have drawn a box plot for this. Now coming on to the embarked column. So what is embarked column description? Embarked column is the column, like it is a like port. Embarked column means the port at which they were onboarded. Okay, so there were three ports that were S, C, and Q. So the persons who actually onboarded the most were at port S. With this count plot, you can actually see that, okay, almost close to 650 passengers onboarded at port S, and then on C, and then least at Q. Okay, so this I have tried to show you with the help of this count plot. Coming on, now we'll actually see that, okay, at which port if the persons onboarded were able to survive the most. So here what we have done is we have tried to do a bivariate analysis with keeping at X axis we have kept the embarked column, and at Y axis we have kept the survived column, and we will just check the probability of survival. So here you can see with the help of this graph, you can see that, okay, at C call at port, you can see the probability rate of survival was the most. So here almost close to 0.55 the probability was there for survival if the person onboarded at port C, then for Q, and then finally for S. So this was the EDA part, and which we tried to do with the help of all those columns which were actually relevant when we tried to see the data. So almost close to, if you see the data over here, we tried to analyze survived column first, then the P class. We didn't try to do anything with name column, but we actually tried to do the data analysis for most of the columns like sex, age, siblings, parents and children count, and then even the like fairs. We tried to do the data analysis on fairs as well, and we didn't did any analysis for cabin, but we also tried to do, since why we didn't did for cabin, why, because the data is a huge number of data is missing for cabin column. So at this point it will not give us the right insights, so that's why we didn't try to do an EDA for cabin column. And for embarked column, since this is also a categorical variable, so we tried to do with the help of this bar plots and with the count plots to see the different type of data analysis, that is univariate and bivariate. So I hope you are clear with this part, and I will see you in our next tutorial where I'll be talking about the data pre-processing part. Thank you.